on my finger, she would consider it a personal failure as a mother. She said she would make sure it never got that far. She said she had plans to introduce more appropriate women into his life until one of them replaced me naturally. She was actively trying to end my relationship while smiling at me over garden party appetizers. I left the house without going back to the party. I sat in my car and called Rowan. I told him everything I heard. I repeated his mother's words exactly without softening them. I told him she laughed about the idea of him marrying me. I told him she was having engineering meetings with other women to replace me. I told him she called our relationship a phase and said I brought nothing to the table. Rowan went silent for a long time. Then he said he was done trying to balance his mother's feelings with our relationship. He said he knew she disapproved, but hearing the extent of her scheming made something click. He said he wanted to marry me, and he didn't need his mother's permission, approval, or involvement. He asked if I would elope with him. I said yes before he finished the sentence. #. We drove back to our apartment in silence that felt different from any quiet we'd shared before. Rowan pulled out his laptop and we stood side by side looking at state marriage license requirements. The process looked simpler than I expected. We needed identification, a fee, and 3 business days before the license became valid. The earliest Friday courthouse slot was exactly 2 weeks away. Rowan asked if that felt too fast or exactly right. I said exactly right. He booked the appointment before I could second-guess the timeline. We talked about who to tell beforehand. My parents obviously needed to know. Rowan wanted to tell his grandmother because she genuinely cared about me. We agreed to keep it from everyone else in his family, especially Vivian. Telling her in advance would give her time to interfere. She would call repeatedly. She would show up at our apartment. She would manufacture emergencies. We weren't giving her that opportunity. Around 6 in the morning, I called my parents. I explained everything that happened at the garden party. Vivian's exact words about me being a phase and bringing nothing to the table. I told them Rowan asked me to elope and I said yes. My mom said she was proud of me for finally standing up for myself instead of trying to win over someone who was never going to accept me. My dad said whatever we needed, they were there. My mom asked if they could attend the ceremony. I said yes immediately. Rowan visited his grandmother after work. He called me later sounding amazed. She told him Vivian's behavior at the party was disgraceful and controlling. She said she would be honored to attend our ceremony. She hugged him and said she was proud of him for choosing his own happiness over his mother's expectations. Then she made him promise not to tell anyone else beforehand. She said she loved her daughter, but recognized that Vivian's need for control had damaged her relationship with her son. Wednesday morning we went to the courthouse. The clerk processed our application, asked us to swear the information was accurate, and handed us a printed license with an official seal. In the parking lot, Rowan kissed me and said it felt suddenly real. Friday morning finally came. I wore a simple blue dress. Rowan wore a suit he already owned.